Hello everyone, today I'm going to ramble on a bit about the movie Interstellar. That was released recently, at least I think. I've had a really poor perception of time right now, and I've been putting this off for a while, which I think I kind of needed, because I need to kind of think through this movie a bit, but I don't even know if the movie's still in theaters, but at least this should still be at least slightly relevant, and I'm not doing this in like April or something, but anyway, yes, Interstellar, this movie, this fucking movie. I don't know if oh, camera, tripod, things, I don't know, things are happening, I should stop. Feet. This movie, yes, on track. I'm not... conflicted might be a bit of a strong word, but this movie left me kind of, I don't know. Okay, to start off, I should say that I enjoyed watching the movie. It was a fun movie-going experience. You know, I went into the cinema, I sat down, I was amazed by the effects and the spectacularness and the CGI that actually look stunning, even though I am a staunch proponent of practical effects, although that does kind of depend on when and where, but I enjoyed watching the movie. It was an entertaining ride, just as a fun cinema-going experience, but on that entertainment level, would I have enjoyed it as much watching it at home? You know, if I just watch this on Netflix or DVD or whatever, some point later when it comes out, would I have enjoyed it in the same way? Probably not. I mean, this kind of movie, there is just something really spectacular about watching in the cinema, you know, on big screen, big sound system and everything. But still, I enjoyed watching the movie, so just... I didn't find it to be a bad movie. But there are still things that I think the movie could have done better, on the more... yeah, on a higher level, because, you know, it's a Nolan movie, and Nolan is kind of famous for being that one kind of artsy guy within the mainstream. And yeah, I guess he is. I'm not sure. I mean, I kind of have a complicated relationship with Nolan, because I like most of his movies. You know, I think Memento is an amazing movie. Inception is pretty okay. And like the Batman movies, I think are, again, entertaining movies, you know? Fine enough action movies, but especially the last of the Batman movies really kind of bugged me on a political level. Because I'm a socialist, and that movie really feels like it was very anti-leftist, so I was kinda, yeah. But that's a whole different issue. But so when it comes to Nolan, I don't know if I have this, because some people just have this respect for him. It's like, oh, he's this great, infallible, visionary director, and yeah, I have my doubts about him. But Interstellar itself, it feels like this is a movie that they wanted people to talk about this movie. You know, they wanted this to be more than just a simple action blockbuster, sci-fi adventure, whatever. And, you know, yeah, it does bring up some more ideas about it, you know, kind of philosophical, like, and I'm not great at like analyzing movies on that level. I'm really not, and especially when I've just seen the movie once, and as I said, it's been a while since I watched the movie now, so it's not entirely fresh in my mind. I only seen it once, so, you know, I can't go into amazing detail about certain specific scenes or whatever, and just specific lines of dialogue. But in general, just what did this movie kind of try to say? My interpretation is that this was a movie about humanity, and how far we've come, and how humanity always gets there in the end. You know, when we just put our minds to it, and, you know, we just believe in love and all that, which was something brought up in the movie, and that was one of my problems. And again, I'm kind of getting to this. But that was kind of what the movie was trying to do. It was kind of like, look at how far we come. Look at how amazing humanity is. You know, look at how we can just solve our problems. And it's very idealistic like that. And I'm a very cynical person, so that's where I kind of disagree with the movie. And that's not to say that it's a bad movie at all. And again, this isn't a review. You know, I can't review movies. This is like, yeah, this is good, this is bad. This is just my musings about the movie that don't necessarily have any inherent value or judgment to them. But the main point, and this is gonna make me sound so European, but I think that this movie was a bit too American. And now I'm just trying to see, what would make this... What could you change about this movie to make me appreciate it more? And you know, when I say it like that, I'm not saying like, oh, everything should be for me. It's like, no. Again, it's not necessarily a poorly made movie. But I think that, and before I get into this more, I would like to say that there's nothing wrong with having an idealistic movie or an optimistic movie or a movie with a happy ending. I have nothing against happy endings. Although I tend to feel like you should kind of deserve your happy ending in a way. And it's all about what happened in the movie prior. Because if a movie didn't feel like it naturally led up to a happy ending, then it usually kind of comes off as a deus ex machina to me. But that kind of depends. Now I'm just kind of thinking while I'm talking, and I'm going on off on the different things in my mind. But this movie specifically, the thing is, early on in this movie, everything goes wrong in this movie. You know, it's kind of they set out on this mission, and thing after thing after thing just goes wrong. And the things that go wrong are usually because of human error, you know? It's people screwing this up. And so just based on what happens, I feel like this movie could have been a much better statement on how fallible we are as humans. If they just did not succeed, if, you know, if the movie ended with every human dying and their mission was a failure, you know, or maybe they had to, if you wanted to leave on at least like a bittersweet note, they'd set the plan B into effect. Yes, I'm relying on you having seen this movie. Again, this is not a review or recommendation, so you should have seen this movie first. And yeah, I think I've already spoiled things, but spoiler warning anyway. Sorry, I should have said that earlier. But yeah, no. And yeah, that's kind of my very cynical sort of European mindset, I suppose. Because that kind of movies, you don't see a lot coming out of Hollywood, you know. I mean, of course you can have American movies like that, but usually not, you know, big studio movies. And I'm not saying that every European movie is like that either. No, we have our fair share of optimistic movies and comedies and everything. But in general, you know, that feels like something I could have kind of seen if this movie was made elsewhere. And again, I am such a European saying this, but it's kind of there. But again, returning to my main line, because I kind of had this line of things I wanted to say in order, and then I just kind of went off. I do this, tangents, everything. But in this movie specifically, just I don't feel like they really kind of earned their happy ending. The fact that this movie had a happy ending just feels kind of contrived, you know. And there were some other specific parts of the movie that did kind of annoy me like that, where this movie was just a bit too convenient and everything at times, I guess. Or not convenient isn't really the right word, but what I felt mostly is that, again, my main point is that they should have failed. This movie should have been about humans that set out to do great, but then they fail because they're human, you know? Errare humanum est, all that. Because the thing is, the people in this movie aren't very bright, honestly. They're kind of stupid characters, you know? I mean, they're not, yeah, you know, slasher movie teenagers stupid, but they're still fallible, I guess is the better term. And that's kind of, again, what we should have really focused on, because this is a movie about humanity, and they should have really kind of recognized that a large part of that is the fallibility. And they kind of went into that with the doctor on the planet, whatever his name was, who was like, oh, I'm a coward and I can't do this and I just look out for myself. And, you know, but it felt like they kind of tried to squeeze most of that aspect of humanity into the one character. And actually, the more I think about it, it almost feels like they kind of characterized different aspects of humanity. But anyway, and that part, again, was a very specific thing that I had a problem with, but I'll try to get into that later if I can remember. But yeah, no, these human characters, these people weren't particularly bright. And it's completely okay to have a movie about stupid people, you know, within reason. Again, you know, slasher movies with stupid teenagers is kind of like, yeah, it depends on what you want to do with the movie. But yeah, all in all, it's like, there's nothing wrong with having stupid characters, as long as the movie recognizes that they're stupid. But I don't think this movie really completely recognized that these people made stupid mistakes, that they made mistakes at all. It seemed more like they were just kind of, oh no, bad things happened to us, but it was more like they caused these problems themselves, you know? We went down on the water planet, like why couldn't they take readings, check whatever went wrong there, you know? All that kind of thing. And yeah, I'm not entirely sure where I'm going with this, but that's basically what I'm saying. If the movie had realized that these people weren't particularly bright, and they, you know, admitted to the human failure, brought down the end of humanity, because humans aren't that great, you know. In fact, we're pretty shitty. As I said, I'm a cynic, you know, so this is the kind of movie I would have liked to make, I suppose. And I feel like I feel like I had another point to go to with that, but I don't know if I do, so, no, I think that was about it. This is so poorly planned out. But anyway, yeah, more specific things that I kind of had a problem with, you know, kind of relating to this. And I guess this is the more kind of nitpickety, traditional review of the movie. And the thing that I already brought up was the scientist on the ice planet. It's like, what the fuck was up with that whole sequence even? So they find this character, and he's like, oh, I lied, you know, about my readings and everything. And he keeps that a secret, and that was something that I just did not understand why he would do that. And again, if these were very much supposed to be stupid characters, dicks, who, whatever, alright, but he was supposed to be like the best and the brightest, and yeah, they kind of tried to show that even the best and the brightest can fall from great heights and make mistakes. And again, that was okay, but what I really feel like they should have done is, he should have just owned up. He should have said, okay, yeah, I was scared, I lied about my readings, now let's get out of here, you know? I apologize. And, you know, the main characters would have been pissed, because, I mean, the whole conflict was because, you know, they didn't have enough fuel to check out all the planets and go back home and all of those things. But he didn't know that. He could just have said like, oh yeah, sorry, we can't do the thing here. But instead he just came up with his plot to try to kill the main guy and escape and shit, and that was just, I don't know, I just couldn't quite understand his character motivation. And I get that that's where the drama and the conflict arises from, when he destroys the spaceship and all those things that were going on. It feels like I'm forgetting about this movie more than I should have. And again, I'm not sure if I had a point anywhere to go with that, but I just, that whole sequence was kinda left a sour taste in my mouth, I suppose. And yeah, I was gonna say, I don't know how else they could have created conflict or drama in that situation and kind of try to achieve similar things, but just, I simply could not understand the character motivation. Why would he try to kill these characters? And yeah, I guess this is more my complaints. In general, as I just said, this is ramblings. This is a rambling about a movie. Take it for what it is. And, you know, on that same vein, when the scientist lady was like, she did some reasoning like on love or something. They were like, love is a force in the universe and something like that. Oh shit, no, I'm forgetting this. I'm sorry. I'm sorry if I'm forgetting this, remembering this wrong. Maybe I should have recorded this a bit shorter after watching the movie. That was also a part that kind of bugged me, because these are supposed to be scientists, you know? It just seemed like a very strange thing for them to say, and... but again, you know, yeah, the movie presented this like, oh, these are scientists, these are the best humanity has to offer. And my reaction is just, no. No, they're not. They're not the best humanity has to offer. These are very, very flawed humans. And if the movie had a easier time just kind of accepting that, I think it would have been better for it. And I've already gone over this, but I guess that is my main point. And I don't know if I have anywhere else to go with this. I thought I would have been able to ramble on about this movie for quite a while, but apparently I'm not. And yeah, I think that's about all I wanted to say, really. I thought I had more to say and kind of discuss, but basically, I would have liked this movie better if it was more cynical. If it kind of more, if it was more deliberately about fallible characters doing stupid things or whatever. If it was less American, less idealistic. Because, and yeah, the whole American thing that I kind of went in about, I guess I had more kind of thoughts about that, but I don't know if I'm entirely capable of expressing them. But basically just the thing it went on about, like, love and hope and family and value. I don't know, it just felt very kind of Hollywood. And, you know, if that's a good or a bad thing, it's up to you, but I guess that kind of was my main point that I wanted to make, was that whole general sort of, I think I'm done here. I've been going on about this for way too long.